Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Izzo here, your professor of shenanigans, and today we're going to be talking about the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday effect in the TCG market, mainly the One Piece card game. Now, one of the things that got into the news and kind of like boosted the popularity of One Piece more is number one, the One Piece Luffy balloon from the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, wherein the hat popped and it gave birth to the meme of the bucket hat Luffy, and the Egghead arc that starts at January 7, 2024, which the link I have provided down below if you do want to watch the preview for that one. Now, with the continuous also advertisement of the Netflix team, wherein they're advertising, of course, like the current Netflix series, and the following one wherein there's a lot of influencers and also YouTubers that are trying to guess who would be casted for the roles, especially for Ace, for Shirahoshi, and for the other characters too. But of course, what I'm most excited is who is going to be casted for Borsalino, which is one of my favorite characters because of his sassiness. And that is causing a real surge in the TCG too, not with just the game itself, but with the collectibles. And there are a lot of items that have increased in prices, and we're gonna delve into why these are, why these events are happening. Now, one of the most interesting topic that we've talked about, during the Thanksgiving break, I talked to a few shop owners, distributors, and judges that I know that are facilitating a lot of the events that are happening right now, especially for Bandai and of course for Wizards, is that the big three kind of still remain. It is number one, Pokemon, and then Magic, followed by Yu-Gi-Oh! But of course, some of the card games that are new, kind of the Flesh and Blood, Disney Arcana, and One Piece are slowly creeping up. But one of the comments of the distributor I talked to said that One Piece will be the new king of TCG, mainly because of the price support and of course the hype for the anime and also the live action and people that are coming into it slowly. And I kind of tried to survey and ask them what are the factors that made them say that One Piece might be the new king of the TCG space. But before I proceed, let me know, guys, what do you think would be the TCG king for 2024? I would love to know your reaction to this one or your thoughts on this. Leave a comment down below. And with that said, let's proceed. Now, there's a few factors that they really reiterated again and again, and that one is the uniqueness and collectability of certain items and the level of connection certain people have on that IP. Now, with One Piece, the Gear 5 Luffy was just released a few months ago, so it's still fresh in people's mind. But if you are to compare it with, of course, Dorkana, and you say to a 20-year-old that is not a Disney family member, that they want to have a card of Arthur, they would not know. Or if you tell them how about Stitch or Snow White, then they would not know. But if you ask a certain college person, which I have a lot of around here, especially near USC, they know who is Luffy, who is Zoro, who is Sanji, who Shanks is, especially with the Wi-Fi Shanks that happened recently in one of the episode in the Wano arc. So that is the one that kind of connects the people to this one. Now, aside from that one, the serialized cards for One Piece is only 2 pieces, mainly the Monkey D. Luffy ST01001 and the Shanks one, which is currently selling at north of 1,500, which is for me surprising, mainly because of course he's not part of the Straw Hat crew, but he's still popular because he's kind of the end the end character in One Piece in a way. So these ones are selling high, especially the ungraded ones. They're still selling at north of 1,200, and even this one was sold for 2,222. And in eBay and Facebook Marketplace, there's a lot of exchanges for this one. But if you compare it to, of course, Magic with their serialized cards, One of the reasons why like kind of like Magic is failing on the serialized department is because they have hundreds of serialized cards. Now, if you have something that is like, repeated in each set, then they lose their luster in a way. Now, like there are people like, for example, the One of One ring, which Post Malone bought for like 2 million, is understandable. But like, for example, you want like a playable like version of Children, which is one of the most used cards in Magic, like standard history, then you would see that like there is only a few sales and it hasn't been bought for months, even though like it's listed at a certain price. And of course, like sellers that bought it for a high price are afraid to lose money and move it for a lower price. And some of these ones are racing from the bottom, so it went from 384 to 249. But with One Piece, these are available through the tournaments, which you need to win and not open up from the packs. For example, like the recent like Treasure Cup, in order for you to get like any of like the standard like serialized card, you have to be at top 16 to get like the Queen alt art, top 8 for the serialized Shank, and the Roronoa Zoro alt art, which means that you have to play. And with playing with a high stake like that, players are inclined to get more of like the movable pieces or kind of like the play pieces for the game. So one example of the competitive scene pushing up the prices is the Blue-Black Sakazuki, which is one of the most popular deck now in the OP05 meta. Of course, they're moving now to OP06, and English is just like catching up to OP05. Now, Borsalino and Kuzan before was easily obtainable around like $8 to $12, but now they're moving towards 30. Hina is a common card, and the ST06, including the Grape Eruption, which is also a common card in that one. And both of them are now moving to the $10 range. Before you could buy it from Target and like some of the game shop for about like $12 the whole deck. But now you can't, because like of course like it has increased and has affected the price like tremendously. And next is like the popular purple deck, which is like the purple Luffy. That's why you are seeing the Queen spiked up so much, because you need 4 over here. And most of these ones are from the starter 04. So you have like the Kaido, the Queen, the OT, and the Page 1. The Magellans 2 are kind of spiking, but like they drop a little bit. Back to $10. They were about like 25 like a week ago because of like the ban. And then of course like the ST10 cards, like the Law and the Eustace Captain Kidd, is also the reason why like a lot of people are buying the starter deck 10. And of course it's very good for the new players because of the foil dawns. And of course the also popular yellow decks, you still see like the same pieces. Charlotte Perospero, Brule, which is also from the starter deck. So the 07 is increasing because of this one, along with the Charlotte Linlin ST07, and the ever so expensive Katakuri, because all of the yellow decks like use this one. And of course the increasing Yamato. Before you could buy this at 99 cents, now it's at $7. And these are like the type of like movement that pushes the prices, as long as it is in the meta that is like winning. Because like in TCG, net decking is like super the same as ever. In Magic, whoever wins the Pro Tour becomes like the popular deck, and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of TCGs have accepted this fact that the waifu tax is real, and people would buy up anime style cards if they put it in here, and especially if it's a woman. Now, like there are some controversies surrounding this one, but like the TCGs continue to do this, and including Oda, and I would show it a little bit. So for example, in Magic, they had like the anime confetti foils, which like sold like super high. Like even for me, I did get one of these ones. It's slowly dropping off, but like it had like an increase for about like a few months. And if you look into like the trajectory of it, like it's still like super high. And it's constantly bought like, about like, a week or daily too. And if you compare it to the Pokemon ones, the one that is like, best selling and still high are of course like, the female characters in like the series. Now I know like some of these ones are minor, so I'll leave it at that. So all of these ones, like these trainer ones, are popular. And what Oda did, of course, is to make sure, and of course, like the Bandai team, have introduced like artists that are doing like, fan service in a way. So we have like new arts that are not just like screenshots from the anime. So we have Nami, Yamato, Uta, and of course, like, Bello Betty, which is like a lot of people want to play it for a reason. And it has like a lot more that like, they're offering in terms of like new artwork and collectivity, which is like giving the players incentive to buy more of this one. That's why like a lot of people are like, really trying to get their hands on this product. And unfortunately, like this product is somewhat sold out in a way. You can only buy it for 1,400 plus. Now, if we go to the product page and we go to the awakening of the new era, you would see like a booster case would cost you 1,599 or 1,600, which is, again, I mentioned was like 1,100 at the beginning of the pre-orders. So you would see here that like, because of the popularity of, the alt art leaders and of course, like, the waifu taxes and also the awesome new arts that they have been introducing, this one is like, gaining a lot of like ground. And also, of course, like the Ichiro Oda illustration and also the signed one. And of course, if you look into eBay, the Japanese one, which is going to be much cheaper than the English version, is now selling more upwards around like 1,600. So I'm expecting like the Oda signed one would at least be 3,000 plus if you get like a PSA or a raw one for about like 2,000. So like that's just my speculation on the price. Now Bandai is also stepping up their game in reprinting like playable items, playable cards in 2024 with the OP06, and of course like this has already released in like Asia, and a lot of people are opening this one up right now. So one of the things is, of course, if you're running Whitebeard Pirates, then you have like Buggy, which is like, this is a phenomenal art. I personally would just like get this one and even like a graded one, because like Buggy is one of my kind of like characters that I like. And of course we have like the Big Mom, which is like what category really loves to play. And this is, a lot better than the creepy art that was on the previous one. So we have like Sugar and we have Miss All Sunday. Like, I'll be trading my other Miss All Sundays for this one. We have Borsalino and also Rebecca. Now, like Utah would be on this set, which is also popular for those that have watched the film and really love her. And of course, like one of the selling points on this set are like the unique arts that are on the alt art leaders. So you would see like this is Yamato, and this is like the normal one, and then like Perona, of course, with her tongue out for specific reasons. And of course, like the one main reason why people really want to have this set is, of course, Reiju, and not just like that card, it's like these ones. So you would see that, One Piece is really doing like the fan service for, its anime fans. And this is one of the main selling points why a lot of people are trying to open up packs and trying to get multiple copies so that they could secure a PSA 10 like for this, which is kind of like what made Pokemon really collectible, was like people trying to get like, gem mint versions of a card. And then of course, like there is the competitive scene, which is, like that's why like people are getting these ones so that, they could play it and kind of like have a bragging right when they're playing, having their deck like, fully altered and so on and so forth, so that, like they feel good about themselves. I would say like I'm one of those persons. So guys, in summary, I believe that One Piece is kind of like doing a lot of things right, mainly because of like the new art, the competitive scene pricing, which makes a lot of like these cards like super rare because you can only really win it in the tournaments, like the special art that comes out in like future sets that a lot of people would like gladly pay the waifu tax for. And I just hope that Bandai kind of like increase the stock and like the allocations for majority of the shop, and I hope that they do not partner with Amazon because of like the MTG Amazon dumps that basically kill local game stores because they sell out like the products first before like the local game stores can get their hands on it. Now, of course, like the health of the secondary market is very important, but not at that point wherein like you're killing and cannibalizing your own suppliers and tournament organizers. So let me know, guys, like your comments down below. What do you think like Bandai should do more? What do you think Bandai should do less to make One Piece truly the king of the TCGs? And what do you think that like the other TCGs have done that really Bandai should avoid? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next